Hey guys, today we're going to start looking at angle relationships. And the reason we want to even know about angle relationships is because we want to use those relationships to find angle measures. So first, I would like for you to pause the video and copy these notes. Copy the top and the chart on the bottom. So now that you've copied the notes on parallel lines and transversals, let's talk about these angle pairs or angle relationships. First of all, when we talk about parallel lines, we're talking about lines that never touch. So in this picture, line X and line Y are parallel lines. And when we talk about a transversal, trans means to go across. So a transversal is a line that cuts across parallel lines. So now let's look at the angles that are formed. So the first type of angle pair that we see are vertical angles. And it says that these are pairs of opposite angles formed by intersecting lines. And they are congruent. Remember, congruent means same. So the example that they give us are angle A. Let me do it like this, angle A and angle C. You'll notice those are just flipped or opposite angles, and they're the same. Another example that they give us is angle F and angle G. So I always say, oh, they form the inside of the X. So look at the bottom one. E and H are vertical, F and G are vertical. Same thing on the top. A and C are vertical, and B and D. And remember, those have the same angle measures. So now let's take a look at straight angles. Well, we know what a straight line is. It's a straight line. And here's the new thing, and you may already know this, but a straight line has 180 degrees in it. So straight angles are two angles, they'll be side by side, that form a straight line. So look at angle A and angle B. See that straight line? That means they are supplementary, or they form 180 degrees. Another example that they give us is angle F and angle H. And there's that straight line. So that means if I add those two together, they'll be supplementary or equal 180 degrees. So the next example, or the next type of angle pair or relationship, is an alternate interior angle. Alternate means opposite sides. Interior means inside. So it says that these are angles that are inside the parallel lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. So let's look at angle D and angle F. And you can see that they're both inside the parallel lines. You see that? But they're on opposite sides of that transversal. So another pair of examples that they gave us was angle C and angle E. Again, they're both inside the parallel lines, but on opposite sides of the transversal. So now let's take a look at alternate exterior. Alternate still means on opposite sides of the transversal. Exterior means outside the parallel lines. So let's find those. And again, these are congruent. That means they have the same angle measures. So let's look at angle A and angle H. See how both of those are outside of the parallel lines, but they're on opposite sides of the transversal. That's what it means. Alternate exterior angles. Another pair of alternate exterior angles will be angle B and angle G. Again, outside the parallel lines, but on opposite sides of the transversal. And then the last relationship I want you to get used to finding is what's called corresponding angles. And I always say these just match up. They're angles in the same relative position, but they have matching corners. So you have A and E. These are also congruent. See how they match up? If I were to slide A down, it would sit right on top of E. So another pair would be F and B. Again, they're both on the right of the transversal and on top of the parallel lines. And there are more. You have D and G. Those match up. Those are corresponding angles. So those are the angle relationships that I want you to be familiar with. Then, once you're familiar with these, we can use that information to actually find the measurement of angles. So let's draw this. Here are our two parallel lines. And let's make the transversal look like this. And then let's say that I give you this angle measure right here. Here's the beautiful part of knowing all of those angle relationships. Now, if I have one measurement, because of those relationships, I can find all the others. For example, if I take a look at this right here, I notice that these two angles form a straight line. So guess what? I can take, straight line has 180 degrees, subtract 75, and when I do that, I get 105 degrees. So that means that this angle right here is 105 degrees. Well, guess what? Look at this. Doesn't this angle and this angle form a straight angle? Yes. So guess what this one's going to be? 75 degrees. And that makes sense because these two angles, the two 75s, are vertical. That means they're the same. Guess what else? This one is 105. So if I have one angle measurement, I can find every single angle in this situation. But guess what else? Because of corresponding angles, I can slide all of these measurements down and just fill them in. See that? And here's how I know that I'm correct. Let me pick another color here. I like purple. Didn't we learn that alternate exterior angles are congruent? Watch this. That's an exterior. Here's the alternate exterior. They're both 75, so I know I got it right. And then I can test the same thing over here. This is 105. The alternate exterior angle's 105. That's why we learn all of these. So let's just try another one from scratch. So I'm going to draw two parallel lines, two lines that will never touch. And I'm going to draw a transversal that goes across like this. And here's what you might see. You may see an X here, and then you might see a measurement here. And then the question may say, find X, or find the value of X. So let's do that. I'm going to take that 40 degrees, and I'm going to use that to fill in all my spaces, and then I'll see what X is. Well, I just want to use straight angles. Straight. See how these two are side by side? So I'm going to take 180 because a straight angle. Two straight angles form 180. So I know that this angle right here is 140. Let's fill it in, guys. So this is 40. This is 140. So now, let me change colors here. Because of corresponding angles, I can move all this stuff over. So I've got 140, 40. Guess what X equals? 140, 40. And again, I can use all of my relationships to test those, but I can see now that X equals 140 degrees.